What's up, guys? It's MTG Matt for you with an Innistrad Minderheit video. Finally, I'm done moving between countries, so I can finally get back to Magic. And like some of you guys know, I've missed the first week of Innistrad Midnight Hunt. Like, I really missed the release and everything. But I didn't spoil myself. I didn't watch other streamers. I didn't look up like what the meta is evolving like. So this is my first video for Innistrad Midnight Hunt, and I actually have no idea what the meta looks like except for the games I've played. So let's jump right into today's deck with the Teferi Control. And this is the very first deck that I played in Innistrad Midnight Hunt because I just had to. So what is this deck all about? Well, I wanted to find out whether the new Teferi is actually broken, right? Is it broken, bad? What is this Planeswalker about? And what I can tell you about Teferi is that I think the designers of this card really hit a home run, more or less, because this Teferi is very unique in a way that from my gameplay experience, this seems to be a Planeswalker that can just, you know, fit in almost any deck that's playing Azorius colors. It's just really nice, like, supporting Planeswalker. This Planeswalker on its own, it won't win you the game, it can take over a game, but it can just smooth out the rest of your deck really nicely. So, what does Teferi do? 4 mana, 4 loyalty Planeswalker, +1. You can choose an artifact, a land, and a creature, and tap or untap them depending on whether you control them or don't control them. And on top of that, you gain 2 lives. So Teferi can actually ramp you in that he can untap a land of yours. And the way you want to use Teferi is play him on turn 5, right? You have 5 mana, Teferi costs 4 mana. You play him on turn 5, use his +1 to untap a land. And now you have 2 mana open to, you know, cast a Foretold Sword Coming, or cast a Jurari Disruption, or cast a Fateful Absence, or cast a Baleful Mastery. Right, so lots of 2 mana ways to use that untapped land, and this way Teferi can protect himself because he himself does not have a single way of protecting himself. Then secondly, he has the -2, look at the top 3 cards of your library, put 1 of them into your hand, and rest on the bottom of your library in any order. This can be, you know, just really nice to give us a card, obviously, but especially when our hand is very empty, this can help us find Memory Deluge, which is also a new card from Innistrad Midnight Hunt, and this card is just absolutely bonkers for any control deck. When I saw this card spoiled, I had no doubt in my mind that this would be a 5-star card for sure. 4 mana instant. Look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the amount of mana spent to cast a spell. Put 2 of them into your hand, and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. And it's got flashback for 7. So you first cast this for 4. Look at the top 4 cards, pick 2, and then later you flashback it for 7. So you look at the top 7, pick 2 cards. Really powerful card draw spell, absolutely outstanding. And yeah, the whole idea of this deck is it's a Azorius Control deck, which, if you guys played Standard 2022, know that there wasn't a successful Azorius Control type around. I've played this deck in Platinum within about 70% win rate, so that's pretty nice. But, you know, disclaimer, it's in Platinum, so it's not really representative of high ladder ranks. But that being said, this is basically an Azorius Control deck with a splash of black for 2 copies of Baleful Mastery. Because I do, like, there are a lot of die effects in this game, or people reanimate Planeswalkers with Blood on the Snow. So I do find 2 ways to exile creatures or Planeswalkers really useful. Especially since in Innistrad Midnight Hunt we finally got really good dual lands, which just make these kind of decks so much better in the forms of here Deserted Beach and Shipwreck Marsh, which come into play untapped if you control 2 or more lands, which is obviously very easy, like a very easy requirement to fulfill. Alright, so this is a classic control deck, right, with Teferi as our MVP more or less. What does the rest of the deck look like? Well, we got 4 copies of Fateful Absence, really nice new removal spell from Innistrad Midnight HUD. Destroy target creature or planeswalker. Its control investigates, all of that for just 2 mana, real nice. 4 copies of Jurari Disruption, can obviously be a land, but we want to be countery in this deck, right? We want to be a control deck. And this is just another 2 mana spell which we can enable with Teferi that can sometimes really help us out countering something. And then we got these 2 creatures in here, Suspicious Stowaway as a 4-off and Malevolent Hermit as a 4-off. Both of these creatures extremely powerful, nice additions to any control deck that runs blue. So Suspicious Stowaway, 2 mana 1/1 Human Rogue Werewolf, can't be blocked. And when this counters, you play draw a card and discard a card, right? So you get to loot, get to filter for your deck, very nice, very powerful to find a board wipe in the form of Doomscar, find a removal spell in the form of Fateful Absence, or find counter spells, right? Really, really nice. But then it's got Daybound, so you play it becomes day, and then when it becomes night, it becomes Seafaring Werewolf, which can also not be blocked, but when this comes to your play, you simply draw a card, you don't even have to discard a card. So this guy right here, nice play pattern, play him on turn 2, turn 3 you don't play any spell, maybe hold open a Saw It Coming. Then, since you didn't play a spell, it becomes night, and then the turn after you can start swinging with this guy and just, you know, build card advantage. Really nice creature. And then Malevolent Hermit, also real nice, 2 mana to 1. You can pay a blue, sack it to counter a non-creature spell, unless its controller pays 3, which is nice, right? But what's I think it's almost better about this card is that at 2 power you can block some creatures and trade, and then you can pay the disturb cost of 3, and you get a 2/2 flyer, Benevolent Geist, which says non-creature spells you control can be countered. So this is really useful against it, especially in control against control matchup. So these are our creatures at 2 mana. And as you notice, our 2 mana slot is very packed, which is some nice synergy for Teferi. And just in general, a nice deck building rule of thumb for control decks, right? If you pack your 2 mana slot, well, this means that on turn 4 you can play 2 of those spells, right? Turn 4 you can play hold open a counter spell and play a Fateful Absence, which is a play pattern that will usually get you ahead of the game. Alright, what does the rest of the deck look like? As already said, we got 2 copies of Battle for Mastery, 4 copies of Doomskull for board wiping, and then 4 copies of Oran's Epiphany, just a very nice card, and synergizes especially well with Teferi, which I haven't actually finished reading, because Teferi has a -7 that says you get an emblem with untap all permanents you control during each opponent's untap step, and you draw a card during each opponent's draw step. Now this is an ultimate that won't win us the game, but it puts us really far ahead, right? So every turn, every time it's your opponent's turn, you also get to untap your lands and all your creatures and so forth, and you get to draw an extra card. So you can really spend all your mana on your turn and then still have mana open on your opponent's turn. And Teferi in this shell of a deck is surprisingly consistent at getting his emblem, because you pay for a mana and then you +1, so he's already at 5 loyalty, and then you only need 2 more turns to get him to 7 loyalty, and then another turn to activate the emblem. And this becomes easier, like a lot easier with Oran's Epiphanies, right? Because you take extra turns, so there's some real nice synergy there. And yeah, that's pretty much the deck. And notably, we got 26 lands, and very importantly, we got 2 copies of Crawling Barrens, which is a win condition, right? We can make this really huge. And 2 copies of Field of Ruin to deal with our opponent's manlands. And this is the whole deck. Now, you might look at this deck and wonder, well, how do we actually win? Right? Like, obviously we have a lot of tools to control the game, but where's the win condition? And the interesting thing about this deck is that this is a control deck whose only win condition is control. Now that sounds pretty stupid at first, but usually a control deck has some, like a certain one card that, you know, is a payoff for its controlling type of nature. and which can then win the game on its own. Like, for example, Dream Trawler used to be such a creature from Pharaoh's Beyond Death that would just, as a one card, win you the game. This deck doesn't have that, right? This deck simply wins by controlling the game, having card advantage, and then eventually you chip away on your opponent with Crawling Barons, with your birds, or with your Hermits and Stowaways, and that's how you win. It's working surprisingly well, and it's a lot of fun playing it. So that's my first deck for Innistrad Midnight Hunt. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and stay tuned for a lot more videos to come, and I see you guys soon. And it seems good. Seems fine. I think I want to keep the disruption for now. We're not in a rush here. Let's just play the deserted beach. This allows us to keep the disruption while also having blue mana on turn 2. For this exact reason, so this way you can play the Stowaway and establish day. And with this hand it's actually quite nice to play no spells next turn, because we can either hold up a Fitful Absence, play the Disruption, which is probably the play, or we play a Pathway and hold up the Disruption. We attack first. So we can filter through our hand. I definitely want a Doomscar. I might also want... I think Disruption is actually the card to cut here. Because now I can play this as a blue and hold open. I saw it coming, and it becomes Night. Right. With Night, the Werewolf will start just drawing us cards, right? Instead of draw a card, discard a card. I could kill the Swarm Shambler. Then again, I have a Doomscar. Let's just draw cards here. I actually want lands. Yeah, I definitely want to keep my Werewolf around. Alright, this gives us card advantage. There's our Deluge. And I'm actually gonna make Pathway white mana for Doomscar. Deluge can find us more land. And now that we're approaching 5 land, we will be able to play Teferi soon. Oh, let's go! That's what is Sprout. I think this card is excellent. Middle card. Okay, so we didn't find the land, but we can search one. There is land. I'd really like to keep these absences, right? Because they're 2 mana, so they synergize very well with the Teferi. Thought coming is also nice. Maybe actually getting rid of an absence here now, just Scar. Hey, that's what a Sprout seems excellent. 1 mana 3/3 that grows. Sounds good. Okay, he's got the Orgoth Troll here. So we can play a Teferi. And oh, Teferi won't die, right? He can make a 4/4. This goes with 5 loyalties, so
I could explain what I'm about, but I'd rather show than tell.
Tap you. So the idea is he's gonna.
I've got some time tinkering to do.
Let me actually finish the turn and finish my thought. He's gonna get a 4/4 here, right? If he finds a land, the mammoth becomes a 3/4. Sorry, a 5/5. So if he has a land and he attacks both with both the Teferi, I just kill the bigger one, right? Yeah. I mean, sure, I'm giving him a card here, but I get to keep my Teferi. And we have memory deluge, so we should be able to have some card advantage. We found another map. Okay. Deserted beach. I'm just gonna minus the Teferi here for a card. There is an epiphany. I think I do want an epiphany here. Because you can foretell the epiphany, hold open the deluge, or you know, counter something big, and we can actually just let's search for a scar here. No Doomscar. I do like a land though, and maybe just another deluge. And let's take an extra turn. There is a stowaway. But if I cast another spell, it becomes stay again, right? Which we don't want. The 6 mana left, which is an absence and a deluge. Seems fine. I would actually just block both and lose both, because the idea is I want to kill the mammoth, or one of his mammoths at end step. Okay, or we do it now. The idea was to kill the end step so he can't like draw a card and cast something else. Right. But it's still fine. That sucks actually, because this is just cast, right? Because now it becomes day again. You got a Teferi. I could also use this to block, but we don't tap with it anyway. Wait, I can play the Teferi. Foretell this, and then plus the Teferi. And I'm gonna untap the Field of Ruin. Maybe I wanna use it. So with Teferi out, I'm definitely blocking here. I don't care about the Stowaway because now we can pretty much seal the deal, taking extra turns and everything, so fine. And now we're pretty much in a winning position. Doesn't matter.
I've got some time tinkering to do.
I'm gonna do this main phase, so we find another Epiphany. And I'm gonna get a Fateful Absence. Because we can untap with Teferi and just kill this mammoth. Gonna leave a bird behind. I guess I actually don't want to block with this hermit, so...
Give me a
do it like this. And that should be pretty much good game. I'm just blocking, I'm not giving him a card here with Fate. There's certainly no need to do so. I really prefer to exile this Old Growth Troll. And... what do we do here? I'm just getting this in now.
I'm not playing around. I'm finishing this.
And I really don't want to kill this Old Growth Troll. Could actually attack just to get my flyer. I think that's fine. Yep. And now actually, oh wait, I can. Oh, I could have tapped the troll with Teferi. Got 9 mana. I think I'm gonna just move here, see what I get. Like I saw it coming, like the Doom Scar. I'm just gonna Doom Scar here. I got 5 mana. Yeah. And remember, we always untap during his untap step now because of Teferi, and we also go an extra card. Sure is getting his 4. I'm not even gonna bother with this. I'm not giving him an extra card. But if I counter this, I can actually deluge. So let's deluge here. And I'm taking Stowaway and the Hermit. Yeah, now I'm rescoring. Yeah, this is a very, very slow deck to win with, right? I'm just gonna play creatures. I don't care about the Teferi anymore. And we just win with our advantage here. GG. Yeah, this control deck is super slow, but it seems to work. I'm gonna keep this, even though we only got 2 lands, but we got this Starway in turn 2, which can find us lands, right? A man land, so Snowfalls, Field of Ruins are going to be important. There we go. Let's go. Let's attack first. We don't need a second Starway for now. I'm gonna play Deserted Beach. Because... yeah, I do wanna be able to play Fateful Absence. Ooh. Well, that's bad. attack, so he doesn't gain any mana. He can draw a card. I'm not going to foretell the Doomscar because we have 5 mana next turn anyway, and I'd rather use the memory Daylon here. I still think I let this happen, because sure he draws 1 card, but I get to draw 2. And we just stay mana efficient, right? I do like a Teferi, I do like an Epiphany. We don't have double white yet. Actually, didn't think about that. Yeah, let's do this. I could have actually waited. Could have played the Epiphany, or like foretold the Epiphany. It's nah. No, this was the right play, I think. Now there's a Hermit. Foretell the Epiphany. And I could have actually also played the Fair with a Baleful Mastery up. I think I'm just gonna pass here. I'm gonna pass because I do wanna maybe use the Field of Ruin to get rid of the lair here. Now let's just exile Kovalar here. Just take an extra turn to get some birds on board. Jurari Disruption. Okay, now we put our Teferi on board. Let's attack with 1 bird first. But why not?
This is a serious situation. We can still have a little fun.
I'm gonna untap the Field of Ruin.
And some think time only flows in one direction.
So this way we can use the Field of Ruin on the lair if we need to. Or we can still use Durari Disruption to counter something. That is annoying, but let's not think about it now. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Let's block here with a bird. So you still got 3 mana left. Damn, he's got that 1 mana. Alright. Cathartic Pyre. Very nice card, very powerful
these
card.
days.
Okay, let's just get rid of the Slayer. Why not? I'm gonna get an island. So, question for me here is, do we plus the Teferi or not? Or do we simply minus him? I think I still want to plus the Teferi actually. Oh, let's untap Barons.
Don't worry.
And
Only a little mischief.
haven't played the land yet. I'm just gonna play this corruption here. Should probably deluge. It won't be night next turn, right? Because I cast this. So I think I just want to hold on to deluge actually. Man, memory deluge is an insane card. Just insane. Nice thing about him blocking this, like attacking this way, is that he will definitely not get any card. Kill this guy, block. That's very nice. Okay, let's stay loose. Okay, we definitely tag an Epiphany and Disruption is a landfill of Coin, Hermit. Let's take another land. Or take a Disruption. Let's actually take Chrome, let's just take pieces. Do we need more white mana? Not necessarily. Let's get white mana anyway. Take an next turn. We untap one of our lands, so we can play a Hermit. Get a Bright Clan halfway. Can actually deluge here. Alright. I do like the stowaway, I do like a Saw It Coming. I think I'll take a Saw It Coming here. Attack with a bird, then untap it. End the turn. Nice side effect about Teferi is that you just gain a lot of life. Okay, there's a gold span with the depth counter. Where was the gold span? The attacks here, we get the kill. Whoops. Get the kill, the Polar, and GG. Wow. This deck is so slow, but it's working. Alright, that's a fine hand. And since we only got 3 lands, I'm gonna go for the Destruction right away here. Pull up by Henchgate Pathway and white mana. Okay, this seems to be one wise, so I'm gonna foretell the Doom Scar. Yeah, there's a haven. So we wanna find our field of ruins, like fields of ruin. So next turn we want to Doomscar. I think we foretell the Sword coming here because if you want to play Doomscar next turn, we don't want to use the Fateful Absence on one of the creatures, right? Oh, untapped land, but it's a land, so that's good. So I could just wipe the board here. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and do that. He's stuck at 2 lands, which is really nice for us. Now, if you draw an untapped land, that's the best scenario, because then we can just play Teferi. And might still do it. I think we just do it. With 5 lands, we would have been able to, you know, hold up a Fateful Absence, right, with 2 untapped lands. But this way it's also fine. We hopefully get to keep the Teferi on the board. Yeah, Teferi is taking a big hit here.
I'll show you how it's done.
I'm gonna main phase Deluge. We find a Field of Ruin. Could also take. Actually, we already have an Epiphany. I'm actually gonna take another land here. And play the Pathway. Tap the land.
I've got some time tinkering.
Now, opponent might just send 1 unit at the ferry, in which case we can preserve him, and then we can just go extra turn. He does have a big incentive of killing the ferry because we are still at 18 life. Wait, what? I mean, sure. Yeah, that probably wasn't planned from his side. But I mean, now we're just gonna storm off in a way. It's gonna take extra turn after extra turn. It's fine if he trades. That's fine. We do have the Doom Scar here.
Give me a moment.
Yeah, we'll use the Doom Scar and untap another land here. Doesn't really matter which land we untap.
Don't worry.
And now we're in really good shape. We're 24 life. We have a counter spell up. We got its Fatal Absence up. We want to keep our Teferi around. Okay, play our Swarm. We have a Field of Ruin. If he's got a Skyglaive Apparition, that's really bad luck. That is fine actually. We'll let this resolve. You can exile a Critical Absence and then we simply... Okay, now we Memory Deluge. Do like another Memory Deluge to draw more cards. And let's just get another Doomscar, right? And we will just redraw our cards anyway with the Teferi emblem. So here we go.
Really should have seen that.
Teferi emblem for the win. And actually, I'm gonna go ahead, Doomscar and the other way. And this way, you know, we can start applying pressure. And from now, we just win with pure card advantage. Pretty easy. Like a side. Oh! Wait. This freaking game tapped us in a way that we can't use saw it coming. Really? That is... Oh, wait a minute. We can actually use it. Right? Do we still have an island in the deck? Ah, damn, we don't. Okay, we can actually use it. Because if we had countered Legion Engine, we would, you know, avoid having to deal with more Legion Engine. The island is on our hand, by the way. Attack. Barons. Clear out the island. Turn. Really? Wait. Let's go to combat first. Alright, I'm going to absence Legion Angel. Draw a card. Portal is saw it coming. And then we must make sure that we only cast on spells. Let's cast Permit. And use our mana to pump up the Barons. This way we still make sure that it stays Knight. For a Werewolf, wanna counter this Angel so that it stays Knight. That is actually fine. That's fine. Not casting the Deluge yet, because if he chooses to attack... Okay, now he's probably not attacking, right? Now he's casting Deluge. There's Epiphany, which is nice. And let me just take more features very simply. And just go attack here. Just go here. I mean, with 26 life, what can you really do? Not much. 72% win rate. Let's go. Hey there, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this kind of content and want to see more fresh decks and standard meta decks, please consider subscribing. I would really appreciate it, and I see you guys soon.